Hey, lovely. Welcome to Hustle and Groove, where we talk about all things digital business related. But we also talk about how to ensure that you create an aligned business, that you ultimately only do things that are easy and fun for you. So I'm really excited to chat to you today because we are going to talk about how and what digital products to sell, and more importantly, how to ensure that the products that you create are going to be profitable. So let's just dive straight in. So the first step in this entire process is always being super clear on who it is that you actually want to serve. Because if you aren't clear about what that is, then you can end up attracting the wrong people. So this is not about niching down, because truth be told, I'm not a huge fan of needing to niche down. My approach has always been, rather than just picking one thing to focus on or one niche, I am multi-passionate. And so in order to be able to have a business that I love, that means that I get to decide what that looks like. So ultimately, when it comes to niching down, the way that I approach it is, rather than having to choose just one audience or one offer, when I do come to creating a digital product, the first question that I ask myself is, who is the audience that this offer is ideal for? And so that's a different way of niching down, but it is the most helpful. But if you're kind of just at the starting phase, or you're looking to add digital products to your business, then this is the first step. Decide on the audience that you ultimately actually want to chat to, right? Because we don't need to do anything in our business, particularly when it comes to products, that we don't want to do. Why would we create and offer things that aren't aligned? And so I want to empower you and encourage you to understand that you get to decide who you work with, and that's the first step. The second step is, when you have clarity on who you're serving, now we want to do a little bit of research. We want to understand what their problem is. Now, the way that I'm filtering all this through is always, I know what the offer is that I ultimately want to have. So whether that is your big offer, it's something that you're super passionate about, if you have that as your filter, the guiding principle, then this will make this process a lot easier. But it always helps to have an idea of the type of offer that you want to ultimately create, right? The topic, all of those things. But this can be influenced further, or you can narrow down further by understanding your audience, and specifically understanding one specific problem that they have around the topic that you ultimately want to create your digital product around, or digital products, right? Because we typically don't stop with just one product, we create multiple products. So what is your audience saying? So this is where being mindful of your audience and understanding what they're struggling with is key. So I'm going to talk about a couple of different tools that I use. They're free, although there is always a paid option for all of them. My go-to tool is answerthepublic.com. So I start here, and the best way for this to work for you is always to come in with your broad topic. So for example, for this YouTube video that you're watching right now, I went and did some research around this topic. So I put in the word digital product into Answer the Public, and it gives you a whole bunch of questions and prepositions and different scenarios around how people are actually searching on this topic right now. So it adds more words and key phrases to your words that you put in, and ideally you're only going to be putting in 1 or 2 words into that search bar. It's always going to get you the best results, because you want Answer the Public to do the heavy lifting for you, right? It's going to go out and it's going to go, okay, who is searching for content around digital product? And you get a big list of keywords and key phrases. And then from there, you can start to step back and go, okay, can I create an offer around this specific problem or this specific keyword that I'm seeing? If you cannot see something that kind of piques your curiosity or you're not excited to create, then you go a step further. So obviously you can do a Google search always. So I do recommend doing that. But the best gold information is you actually being able to have a conversation with your audience. So if you haven't built an audience yet, if you're kind of in that process, then hang out in some Facebook groups. It's your best place to understand what your audience is looking for. Pay attention to the questions that people ask. This is market research 101, is just literally listening. And if you do that for 7 days, then you're going to have a ton of data that will help you create a digital product. So what I mean by that is every time you see a question that relates to the topic or offer that you're thinking about creating, jot it down. So a spreadsheet is probably your best option for doing that. And it's literally the way that I would lay out that spreadsheet is I would have a link to the Facebook group, and then I would put all the questions that you capture from that Facebook group in that area. And I'd probably do a tab per Facebook group. And then if you wanted to, you could even see what the comments and responses are to those questions so that you've got even more information around the types of things that people are offering too. All of this will inspire you. What we're not doing here is copying. What we're doing is seeing what already exists, understanding our audience so that we can then transition into being able to craft an amazing digital product. Now, to help you do that process, there is this amazing thing that I do called Island A and Island B. Now, you may have heard of this before. It's not new, but Island A is basically what I call Struggle Town. It's where your audience is hanging out right now. So it's all those problems. So again, Answer the Public can kind of help you get clarity on that, but also what you just did from a research perspective should also give you that clarity. So Island A, what you want to do is come up with about 8 different pain points around your offer. So it could be a different way of explaining it, but just a few different key points and like the pain points, the challenges, the struggles of Island A. And often what I find the most helpful is actually turning that into a story. So actually sitting there going, okay, so if I was having a conversation with my person, what would they say? And then you go into this. And I like to do a day in the life of, right? So I would literally go, hey, meet Julie. She is waking up at 6 a.m. Her alarm's just gone off and she is dragging her butt out of bed. She's tired. She knows she's got to go into work and do a presentation that she just doesn't want to do. All the while, all she wants to do is jump in and continue to build her online business, but she can't. All she's been doing is writing blog posts, sharing stuff on social media, and crickets. No one is buying her offers. Julie does not know what she's doing wrong or if she's just not cut out to do this thing, and she's almost at the point where she just wants to give up. All she wants is somebody to come in with a step-by-step framework that shows her in a tangible way how to create digital products that sell and not have to sell her soul in the process of doing it. So that is an example of an Island A scenario, like an Island A story. So then what's Island B? Well, basically Island B is where you're going to talk about what life looks like after the problems are solved. Right? So what does life look like for your person? And again, 8 bullet points, and ideally they will match up to the 8 challenges or struggles or pain points, right? They kind of cancel each other out. And again, I like to turn this into a story because that's how I roll. So basically what I would do for Island B is explain what life looks like now. And this is what life looks like after they have gone through your amazing offer. So let's use Julie as the example again. So another day in the life of is how I would do this. So meet Julie. Julie is getting out of bed at 6 a.m. and the best part about this is she is not getting up to go to work. Nope. Julie is getting up and she's going to make herself an amazing coffee. She's sitting down on the deck and she is popping open her iPad and jumping into her community. She has sold about 50 offers, and that happens to be a membership, and she is loving the connection she has with her new members inside her community. And as she's going through and answering the comments and responding to questions, and she's enjoying her coffee, her phone is blowing up with continued sales notifications. Julie cannot believe the transformation from just a month ago, where life felt like it was going to be the worst and that there was no way out. She was able to quit her job, and now Julie is just in love with her business. Everything is easy and fun for her, and she cannot wait to see what this builds into. All thanks to Lisa's Digital Business Lab membership. She cannot believe she stumbled across this on a Facebook ad, and how quickly things were able to change in that time frame. So that is Island B. So hopefully you can see the example between Island A and Island B, but telling this story also does one very specific thing when it comes to creating your sales page, which we're not going to talk about in this video, but I do have a video that walks you through this. When it comes to creating your sales page, those two stories will help you craft amazing content. So it's worth it to do that, to do a day in the life of problems, solution. What does that look like? And then the next step in this entire process, when it comes to creating a digital product that actually sells, the next part after Island A and Island B is to craft a tangible statement. And this is where you can do it in one of a few different ways. You can combine the main pain point with the solution, or you can do the pain point you can do the solution without the pain point. And here's what this looks like. So basically you would say something along the lines of, learn how to craft micro offers that sell without, the key being without, spending all your time on social media, worrying about what other people are doing, and selling offers that don't connect, right? That's just off the top of my head. I'll pull the one for the Digital Business Lab for you and pop it in the notes below. But basically, that's one way of doing it. Another way would be how to create micro offers with ease using the 1, 2, 3 framework. So you can do it that way as well. But basically, it's a very short statement that pretty much gives someone clarity around what the offer is, right? You're either learn how to or create, right? You can, however you want to start it. And then you can either use without or so that you can. Those are really good components to pop into that tangible transformation. Okay, so that is part one of creating a digital product, right? Like really learning what digital products to sell. In the next section of this video, I'm going to switch to screen sharing so I can walk you through some other amazing elements that will help you decide what digital product, or micro offer as I like to call it, is going to be the most profitable for you and also the easiest for you to sell. So I will see you over on the laptop. Hey guys, so I'm super excited to now transition to sharing my screen and walking you through how to find digital products that are profitable, and specifically the 4 digital products or micro offers, as I like to call them, that have been the most profitable for me. Now, I want to preface this by saying, if you have any desire to learn about these types of offers, I cover them in more detail inside the Digital Business Lab, which is my online coaching program, $9 a month, cancel anytime, deets below. Okay, so circling back. So number 1, the workshop component, or the live workshop component, has worked extremely well for me. Now I'm showing you my Teachable dashboard. I don't always sell everything through Teachable. I quite often sell things through my website, and I use Stripe to do that. But at a time, there were times where I sold things through Teachable. So you'll see some things have payments attached to them, others don't. And then really what I want you to pay attention to is enrollments. So I have done live workshops many, many times, and it's definitely one of my most profitable digital products because if you have something to teach, it is one of the fastest way to get feedback from your audience, right? If you do a live workshop, you typically do a live Q&A at the end. And it's also a great way to test any framework or step-by-step thing that you want to teach, right? If you want to build this into something more, a live workshop allows you to do that. Plus, the energy that you get from delivering live content is next level, especially for me as someone who loves interacting with people in a container like this. Live workshops are amazing. So you can see here that I have done lots and lots of live workshops, and this is only showing 10. I've actually got more in another location, but I wanted to just quickly show you. Now this one here, they get paid to create workshop. I'm really just going to give you a little bonus tip here. Once you've done a live workshop, you then get to repurpose it into a mini training, which is exactly what all of these are now. They're all mini trainings. Now I have a few that do extremely well, and you can see here that I have the Profit with Printables workshop, authentic storytelling workshop that does really well. But you'll see here that my most performing ones are they get paid to create workshop and the book success workshop. Now, the reason why there's a huge discrepancy between enrollments compared to all the others is because these two specific workshops are part of a funnel, which is a whole other layer to this. But basically what I wanted to kind of point out to those of you who are looking for funnel building and how this kind of works, once you've got multiple micro offers or once you've got multiple digital products, you can now repurpose those and put them in funnels and make them tripwires, upsells, and order bumps. Something I also cover inside the Digital Business app. So they get paid to create workshop, for example, is an order bump for the Digital Business app. So you can access this exact workshop if you join Digital Business app, right? It's an order bump. And the book success workshop happens to be an order bump on a author specific program that I have. And so this is just a smart way to automate what I like to call surprise money, because I'm not having to do a launch or anything like that in order to sell these two workshops, which are now mini courses, mini trainings, whatever you want to call them. So huge fan of live workshops, and it's definitely for you if you love doing live. The other thing here is, so you don't have to do workshops live. You could pre-record them and drop them out to your audience. There's also that option. I'm just a huge fan of live. So wherever I can do live, I try to do that. Now, the only things you really need to be able to do live workshops is the ability to have people come to a workshop. So Zoom is the most common, but there are other options out there. And also you obviously want to make sure you're recording that. So in order to record a Zoom workshop or a meeting, you need at least the basic starting point, which I think is like $15 a month, so that you've got unlimited recording capability and record it to the cloud so that you don't have to worry about it being stored on your computer and it taking up space. So Zoom, and that's pretty much it. I always personally create a workbook and I always have slides, and that's just to keep me on track. I always show my face and I'm typically sharing and teaching something. So I'm typically walking people through. So much like what I'm doing here, right? We had some FaceTime at the beginning of this video, and now I'm sharing my screen and walking you through. That's literally how my live workshops come together. Okay, so that's workshops. That's number one profitable digital product, particularly when you optimize it and use it in a funnel in some way. So that is workshops. The other option that I have are boot camps. So a boot camp is something that I typically sell that is normally over $200. So if I'm going to the process of doing a boot camp, it's normally going to be a slightly higher ticket offer. It's also generally group program based and always delivered live. That's just how I love to roll. So again, same deal. You'll see that there's lower enrollments, but that's because the price point is higher. So for example, the Grow Your List Bootcamp, that was $500, so $497 per person. 3 people came into that, perfect, right? $1,500. How easy is that? The Ask Sales Plan Bootcamp, 8 people, also $497. The Easy Earnings Bootcamp, that was at around $199. Leads on Autopilot, that was at $99. That was really easy to do because I already had the existing training and I just did a live version of it. So bootcamps can be used in multiple ways, and so you can do this. So follow me here if you can. Let's say you just decide to do the live workshop version, and then you turn it into a mini course. Did you know that you can then turn around and repurpose that into a group program? Now, the core training already exists, and all that the group program element would have is live Q&A calls with you, coaching calls, maybe some type of community element, and that's it. How easy is that to pull together? So it's why I'm a huge fan of bootcamps and why I've done many bootcamps in the past. This also allows you to see if you can optimize the content that you already have and maybe then turn it into something more. So for example, the 30 Days to 5K Power Plan Bootcamp, Leads on Autopilot, Easy Earnings Bootcamp, Our Sales Plan Bootcamp, Grow Your List Bootcamp, all helped me solidify my Digital Income Accelerator membership. So that is my premium membership, and all of these trainings and topics are inside that particular membership. So the reason why I started out with micro offers is so I could test lots of different things to see what my audience liked, to see the different ways that I could deliver things, and to see what resonated. So boot camps you can also do in short form, right? You can do them in 5 days, 7 days. You could also do this as a challenge, but if you were going to do that, always make sure it's paid, right? Like we're talking about paid products here, but I'm a huge fan of this. If you want to do one to many, that's what a bootcamp really allows you to do. So that is digital product number 2. Now, the third option is a little bit unconventional. So I'm a coach and I love coaching, but what I don't love is being stuck in a chair. And traditional coaching has typically been either in person or on a Zoom call. And I've done all of those things. And there are also instances where that is needed, right? Where you just jumping on a Zoom call is the way to go. But for ongoing coaching programs or for one-off coaching sessions, I'm a huge fan of doing asynchronous coaching, or as I like to call it, the easy coaching model, right? Really, really simple. Now, I do this in a couple of different ways. So I actually do this inside Digital Income Accelerator. There is a weekly Voxer session. So once a week, all of my Digital Income Accelerator members get to jump on Voxer with me and just do asynchronous coaching. And so what I mean by asynchronous is that we don't need to be in one spot. We don't need to be in a specific time in order for that to work. So we can chat back and forth. I can also do Loom videos if needed, right? So they literally ask a question, and if I need to, I can do Loom. So the easy coaching model is very simple. It is Voxer plus Loom, and there's no specific time frame. So it's not like I need to be in my butt, in the chair, on my computer for an hour, right? The weekly Voxer sessions are an entire day, but I'm not spending an entire day on Voxer, right? It's not the same as like a VIP day with a Zoom component, right? Like I'm not doing that. So the great thing about Voxer is you can be out and about doing whatever you want. And this is why I love it. And then I always do Loom responses pretty much for all of my members because that's easy for me. And I love doing video, and it also allows someone the opportunity to kind of see the way that I do something or my thought process of something. And it ensures that I don't skip anything or I don't miss anything, because when I'm showing something on screen, they now get to see kind of what that looks like. So Voxer and Loom, really simple to set up. You just need to make sure that you set really strong boundaries and that you're clear about what it looks like. So you can do it for a very specific coaching, or you can have it be more of just a general Q&A, entirely up to you. So that's the third option. And typically what I do with Voxer is I offer 2 scenarios. So I offer a Voxer day, which is $500 US, Or I do actually do a 60-minute session. So yes, it's a time session, but again, I can be out and about. It doesn't matter where I am. And it's like sitting down and having a cup of coffee with someone, really. The 60-minute strategy session is literally just someone comes along and says, hey, Lise, I really want to pick your brains about XYZ, and they pay for that. And I typically charge $133 for a Voxer session, all in US dollars. So just wanted to give you that clarity. And then I also typically do a Loom video depending on what the person is asking. So oftentimes someone who books in a Voxer day will get an entire custom made library of training videos because I've done a whole bunch of Loom videos for them. So it's just such a great experience if you want to do more one-on-one, right? Like if that's more your jam, but you don't want to be stuck in your chair, then I definitely recommend doing more of the asynchronous coaching model, or the easy coaching model, as I like to call it. So then the fourth option is something that you may not be aware of, or you might be, and that is self-publishing books. Now, I have been an author since 2014, and I have self-published over 36 books and counting. There's more coming in the next 12 months. But I wanted to show you why I talk about books in particular. And the goal with the book side of things isn't necessarily to make a ton of money, although I have passive income coming in from them. They're more lead generation. That is my intention with these books. Now, I have both low content books and just normal content books, mid-content books, I guess is what you would call. So this one here, the Start Workbook and Planning Guide, is a low content book. There is about 5,000 words in there. It's very much exercise driven. So there's lots of space for people to kind of map things out. Then the majority of my books are definitely like this. They're like a mid-tier book where there is about 20,000 words or 15,000 words walking through a specific framework. Now, books are great for you if you want to use your book in a couple of different ways. So the way that I use my books is obviously, number one, they're self-published, and I always do an ebook and a print version, and now you can do hardcover. So if you have any desire to do journals and planners, then the hardcover option at Amazon is amazing. It's really, really high quality. I love it. So basically, this is a really good option for you if you want to have a way to serve a lot of people that can't afford your other offers, right? So maybe you have multiple offers and maybe they're over $500. Then this is a great way to serve your audience and at least prep them for being ready to work with you. Because if your book does a really good job of giving them information to get them started, then once they've done that, they can then work with you on an ongoing basis. So you are more than welcome to go and check out any of my books online and just have a look at what they're doing. But these are used to get people into my world. So I use lead magnets at the very beginning of the book to get people into my world, but I also use my books as lead magnets. And I participate in some type of collaboration every 90 days where authors come together and collaborate and promote each other's books. It is a fun time and does such a great job of bringing more people into your world without having to pay for it. Now, I do walk through a variation of a collaboration inside the Digital Business Lab. It is the fastest way to build your email list if you don't have any money. My recommendation is if you do have some money, then I do recommend going down the route of doing a lead generation ad, but that's a whole other video. So I just wanted to walk you through all of these different options, because at the end of the day, it comes down to having a couple of micro offers so that you can do things like present an offer, someone buys it, and on that checkout page, you are either offering an order bump, or if they purchase, there is an upsell option. You can't do any of that if you don't have multiple offers. Now, as I just said, I recommend repurposing where possible. And if you choose to do a live workshop component to begin with, for example, then you can literally create a bootcamp. You could do an easy coaching model version, and you could do a book. So you could literally have one topic and repurpose it into all of those different containers. is, which is really what a digital product is. It's just a different way of presenting that information. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, what I want to do is then also talk about the easiest way for you to sell your offers. So let's go and dive into that next. Okay, so for this final part of this video, what I want to just really quickly address is, what are the easiest digital products to sell? Well, there are a few components that make something really easy to sell, and it might not be what you think. So number one, having a clear, tangible result, right? So for example, get paid to create is pretty much in the title of this workshop. Get paid to create. And this walks people through the pre-selling process so that you're getting paid before you actually go through and create anything. Now, I came up with this workshop because I really didn't like going through the process of creating a whole bunch of stuff and then turning around and trying to sell it. Whereas when you do this process, the get paid to create process literally ensures that you're not creating something unless you've got buy-in from your audience. So tangible result, if you're really clear about what that looks like. 7 days to 1K workshop, again, very clear on what that looks like. The book success workshop, not as clear, but the tangible result is in the tagline. So if you can't get it into the name of your offer, then get it into your tagline. The next type of offer that really sells easily is one that saves your person time or money or both. And that's why tangible things, right? These all really build on each other. If you've got a tangible result, right? A really clear, tangible thing that someone is doing, like, so the get paid to create workshop does both, saves time and saves money, because you're not wasting your time creating something that nobody wants, and it saves you money because you're also not investing any time into paying for programs that you don't need, anything like that. So time and money are always going to be the best thing. But also it's about creating offers that you're excited to sell, because 80% of how well something sells is based on how excited you are about it, right? If you have full belief in what you're offering and you can't wait to get it into your people's hands, then that's half the job done. And then obviously you've gone through the process of ensuring that you're solving a problem that somebody actually wants, not something you believe they need. Now, you can always bake in all the elements that you know that they need that they might not be aware of, but that's your job to bake that in. You don't sell from that position though, right? You're really coming at it from the position of, they have a problem, I'm ensuring that I'm addressing that, and it's very clear to them that I'm solving that problem. And that is, you know, in your actual copy and everything that you do. So tangible result, save time, save money, but you need to be excited about what you're selling. So this is why I'm a huge proponent of ensuring that whatever it is that you do, it feels easy and fun for you, right? So I'm not here to tell you how to run your business. That's why when I talk about these different offers, there's 4 different potential offers, and there's more beyond that. But in my experience, these are the 4 that sell easily, but also are the most profitable because they also don't take forever to set up, right? We're not talking about creating signature courses here. We're really talking about micro offers. And the reason why I talk about micro offers is because they are the fastest to get to market, right? You want to get stuff out there, so you've got data. Data is your friend. You need data to be able to make aligned decisions. Without data, you're just guessing. And we never want to do that, right? We are here to make money in our businesses, not do it as a hobby and pay Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, a whole bunch of money to advertise our stuff. So hopefully you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments. And if you're interested at all in learning more about the micro offer process, how to create these 4 different micro offers, how to use a collaboration to build your email list, any of that kind of stuff, then I would love to see you inside the Digital Business App. It's $9 a month, cancel anytime. And that is very true. You can cancel at any time. You're not locked in. That feels icky to me, to lock people into something. If you don't want to be there, I don't want you to stay either. So you have the option always. It's always your decision. We have an amazing community of people, which you saw when I showed you all the Voxer information. And really, I just want you to be able to do things that feel easy and fun for you, right? Easy and fun. And sometimes we need to test the waters, which is why these micro offers give you lots of different opportunities, but there's also the ability to repurpose, right? To start with one offer and repurpose it into different containers. How awesome is that? So I'm Elise Cartwright. Thank you so much for being here. And if you've got any questions at all, pop them below. Otherwise, I will see you soon. Take care.